All right, I set the record. Everybody's here.
Okay. Okay, we seem to be recording. And welcome, everyone. Very happy to see you. Obviously I could be in a little bit better shape here than I am in. my One of my wonderful relatives used to say, and the humor was not lost on me, I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. So this is our full moon in Capricorn, and we say, of course, in Capricorn, I got an urgent message once from someone said, no, 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 the moon is really in Cancer. Well, the occultism of it tells us that we consider the solar sign particularly, and that is a different approach. So I hope you can hear me. I'm not going to go through um, all the some 45 of us that are here, but I do want to sincerely welcome you and your presence, your radiation, the possibility that you have undertaken to understand the whole process from the angle of the soul. Now, I'm not quite sure. Let's see, BL is here to help me, and of course, I'm oftentimes in need of help. BL, do you see at the moment the key phrase "lost am I," as
Yes,
well as and you see the Jafra image?
yes.
I would like to, if I could, I'm not sure I can. I'd like to make that Jafra image a little bigger. Whoop. And I managed to make it a little smaller. So that's not what I, there, that's a little better. Okay. So, and I trust you can hear me and see the image. Lost am I in light supernal. And yet on that light, I turn my back. Well, Tuya is going to be bringing that up, of course, and we're going to have our full moon actual exact time meditation tomorrow, but and rather late tomorrow. It'll be I don't know, something like 8:30 GMT. So or maybe 9:30 GMT. Just check the schedule that has been prepared for you by Tuya and Anne, and you will know where to go. Knowing where to go is so important. Don't step into the swamp unless you know what you are doing. So we have here the rulers of Capricorn, particularly. And those rulers are from the highest perspective, our alter ego, which is Venus. It's a planet that all the lives on Earth seek in one way or another to emulate. The story goes, we are to have been more and more like Venus, very much like her. But we had problems, and that's the moon chain mystery. It really is a mystery. We talk about it glibly, but it's a mystery. Interestingly, the moon has a detrimental place in Capricorn. Capricorn does overcome the moon. So, in fact, we have Saturn ruling Capricorn, Saturn ruling Capricorn, and Venus as the highest. Well, we have some very good images by Francis Donald, and maybe at a certain point here, BL, I'm not sure, you might be able to show us what they look like. At the beginning here is kind of an image of the triumphant goat on top of the small rocky precipice, and a very old and wizened, can I use that word? An old wizened man who has obviously faded from full powers. Nevertheless, this is the image of the factor of age, which Capricorn rules. However, in a strange way, it also rules a kind of rebirth, not only age, but rebirth at a very high point of initiation. Eventually, that two-horned goat you see there with effulgence behind it will be the unicorn, a fighting, spiritual, and triumphant beast associated with Capricorn, particularly. Trying to take a closer look here at the way it's like the reincarnational cycle is somehow represented here. The age and fading away of Capricorn and the descent again into form. We see all those little children on the side of the image, you know, right? I'm not sure I'm going to be successful showing it, but here it is. So I'm recalling Carl Sandburg, a wonderful scholar and poet, and I think he wrote a great deal about the life of Lincoln. There's so much history in the life of that great racial avatar. And again, if I'm recalling properly, Lincoln had the moon in Capricorn. He was oftentimes of a dour nature, and at the same time, he could be very humorous. And what Carl Sandburg said of himself, I have, now think about youth and age. I have had, he said, a sober youth, wed to work and study. I shall have a rich old age, ribald, rum, and ruddy. He had a sense of humor there, and he knew he was not going to sustain only his more dour nature, but a fuller type of, well, it's almost a Martian kind of approach, where Mars is considered to be the exalted planet in Capricorn. DK talks about Capricorn a lot, and Tuya has been giving us some excellent ideas. You know, in a very illuminative flow, I would say. And it's not only the fourth ray of India, which has made it a battlefield down the ages, as DK says, but it is as well the sign Capricorn, with its Mars exaltation, a battlefield down the ages. And you know, the inheritors from Atlantis. Now, Atlantis is a peculiar thing. It's like a global civilization. And there were different floods and different opportunities and different challenges, and the United States answering many questions about how did all those apparently Oriental people come to the landmass of America. Well, they were there. They were there because the United States, says the Tibetan in kind of a shocking statement, was the center of the old Atlantean continent. Well, we're inheriting a lot of that right now. So with Capricorn, 3 different signs, or rather 2, Saturn, Venus, the highest of all, ruling, but Mars in exaltation and helping to make it a great battlefield down the ages. Now, we're interested in the tremendous battle which took place in Atlantean times. Maybe the story goes maybe 20 miles south of the city of the time, Delhi, um, whatever that city was at the time. And that was a huge battle in which we're told even um, weapons of atomic caliber were used. And it's a great symbol for us right now. We don't have that battle going on yet in a specific way, but it is a great symbol of what is happening psychologically. Okay, it's Jafra's a wonderful artist, and basically has many occult streams in his artwork, but not all. He cannot be expected to present to us that which the Tibetan has presented from the perspective of a master. All right, well, that's my little introduction. And I'd like now to do something relatively simple. When I say that, there's a hope. I guess I'm going to share the sound, unless there's a great hue and a cry from BL who says, no, don't do that.
We can hear you fine now. Are you going to play something for us? Is that why you're going to share sound?
I'd like to be able to play something for you. I probably could, but I think I'm going to keep it simple. So basically what I want to do is set up the meditation. There is the meditation. Probably you don't see it yet, but you will.
No, we're still seeing the banner and the Jafra image.
Coming up.
There we go. We've got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So I'm going to keep it simple. There are so many complexities that are occurring that I'd just like us to get the idea that here we are just about 24 hours before the actual full moon, with the sun in sun in Capricorn oppose the sun in Cancer. And this means that we're in a day of preparation, but pretty much heading now into a day of dedication with our enhancement of desire, so that it is an elevated factor. We achieve aspiration to be guided from above and to work from a higher point of tension. Now, I don't know how we've been doing. I've been making a lot of suggestions. It's been about, it's been a week at least that I've been able to do telepathy and the etheric vehicle. But the whole idea is, what is the magnetic quality of your aura? What really is it, this magnetic aura? What does it attract? And hopefully changes are beginning to take place so that what you attract is truly of value in guiding your participation with the divine plan. I wonder if any of us know how well or badly we participate in bringing the divine plan into expression on the levels of the personality. It's a somewhat complex matter, and the soul simply must express upon every level of the, let's call it the dweller, in a way, the dweller on the threshold. The soul simply must express, and that it can do by aligning with hierarchy and achieving a more magnetic aura. Okay. So I'm going to get into this meditation. Okay. So, passing now from the days of preparation and dedication being prominent in the day through which we just passed, we are entering a day of reception, receiving, of holding, of safeguarding. There are so many subtle energies about which, or in relation to which, we feel very little. Now, that's not an acceptable condition. Much more is possible. Now, whether Master DK is doing this to the same extent that he did when he had gathered 50, 51, something like that, students around the periphery of his ashram, we don't know. But it certainly doesn't hurt to act as if. And as the Seed Group Project is, believe it or not, a 275-year project. We're going to have to take this project all the way to the year, well, approximately 2300. So let's see, is that correct? Yeah, I think so. From the big changes which began occurring in the year 2025 and the continuation of those changes through up to 2020, 2100, then 2200, and that gives us at the year 2300, 2300, a 275-year project. Okay. Now that it seems like a long time, and I must say, I think that quite a number of us, if we are steadfast with Master DK, will be participating with him in the affairs of his ashram. So that's going to make us part of that reactivation of the Seed Group project. Now, we're in this, almost in this state of safeguarding. And we'll handle all the effects that we can expect as the days go on. So we realize that in some way we are the soul in invocation, in incarnation. We are the soul in incarnation. And we begin by withdrawing our consciousness from the personality where that extended soul is identified, usually, and we begin to disidentify as we withdraw this lowered consciousness of the soul from wrong identification with the vehicles, and we enter deeply into the presence of the soul. Now, that's going to take some extraction, some visualization. As we begin to feel ourselves established as a soul within the field of light, love, and spiritual power.
Michael, we lost you there for a minute. Did you mute yourself? We don't hear you.
Have I failed to breathe? I was just meditating. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, attempt to merge yourself as a soul into the deep sense of the group soul. That will require some visualization. You're pulling back from what is normally called the dweller on the threshold. And you're entering a more spiritual, visual realm. And DK said that's so important. People really cannot succeed in meditating because they don't know yet how to focus themselves within the causal body. Do you? Do I? It's not the same thing as learning, simply learning the academics. So, with that sense that you're really entering the soul state in more than an academic way, unite in soul with the spiritually minded people of the world. And with the men and women of goodwill. And of course, this will include the new group of world servers. Why call it new? Well, humanity has been around for millions of years. Some 20-something million years. And this idea of creating a group which is responsive to the hierarchy and their own valuable instrument cannot be thought of as being created before 1925. It's new. It's new. So we, as if, blend with the men and women of goodwill, and further with the spiritually minded new group of world servers. But we, now we can still go further. We can visualize the one soul of humanity. There is, after all, only one soul of humanity. And we can attempt to realize that there is no my soul and thy soul, and we can use one of those wonderful mantrams that come from 7 stanzas, and this mantram ends with the stirring words, and note capitalization, naught is but me. Naught is. Naught is but me. Now, that's quite a statement. And something happens in the heart center to make that more than just an academic statement. So we're going to solidify that sense of, well, being everyone. I know it sounds strange. We'll work with the Antikarana, and especially that part which unites the monastic permanent atom on the 4th subplane of the mental plane with the spiritual triad, The first part is relatively easy. We have to bypass the soul, and before that, we have to align with the soul. Now, reaching the highest levels of the spiritual triad is not now possible for us. Those are very high occult levels, and even masters cannot truly reach them. They are for monadic penetration. Now, our rainbow bridge will have all the colors, of course, and when you work on this privately, you can use all the colors or the ones particularly related to you. But we will use the indigo blue. And I really can't go looking for it. Somehow my little harmonium has been moved out of my reach. So I won't necessarily be singing the note G. In fact, I won't necessarily be singing the word anything. But we'll see what can be done. So let's imagine that there is this rainbow bridge. And it begins, really, with the first contact with the soul. The first contact from the monastic permanent atom, where the personality resides, and makes its way towards and into the soul, and then bypasses that collection of energies, which we call the etheric body or the causal body. Now, let's sound the Om together, and we will imagine that we have this major indigo light And as we sound the sacred word outwardly, we say to ourselves the great mantram of power, which is associated with the light of Shambhala. When I have that original sound on, the ohms, as bad as they are at the moment, will carry. Otherwise, they just cut out. So we attempt to feel the connection with the great second ray. So important, because the soul ray of the earth being is the second ray. And the soul of the solar logos is the second ray. So we're really dealing with indigo here. Okay. Now, we are entering that realm where we can be impressed by the energies of the masters. And we will, as it were, project a beam of white light upward into the spiritual triad. So we feel ourselves increasingly able to cooperate with the Lodge of Masters. It all begins with the three great lords who are receiving from the Nirmana Kayas representing Shambhala some deeper understanding of divine purpose. And then as we uphold the purpose, and are you doing that? Am I doing that? We can find a way to institute that purpose within the rebellious dweller on the threshold. We must say that when we attempt to truly enter the Aquarian energies as they will be interpreted in all 12 constellations or their representative signs, it's not an easy first attempt. So let us salute the great ones who are guiding us to redeem the ancient dweller. So inwardly and with heartfelt gratitude, we offer our salutations to the head of the hierarchy, the Christ. Oh. Now some people, you know how it goes. They're so proud and they don't even know it. They're so egotistical and they don't even know it, that they don't really want to cooperate in this way. They, says the Tibetan, search only for power. It's too early for that. So let us now salute certain of the great ones on the triadal levels. Salutations to the Christ, the Master of all masters, and the teacher alike of angels and of men. Oh, salutations to the triangle of masters with whom we work most closely. The masters M, KH, and DK. A salutation is a pledge of real cooperation. Oh. Salutations to the Master Moria, the head of all esoteric schools and organizations. Oh. Salutations to the Master Kutumi, who works most strongly, uh, engineering, we might say, the reappearance of his brother, the Lord Maitreya. Oh. Salutations to the Master DK, who has given us the blue books and from whom comes a huge wealth of training. His is, in a way, a training ashram. Oh. Salutations to your own master as you know him to be or as you conceive him to be. salutations to the spiritual hierarchy of our planet. Okay, now, in imagination, we, as a group, we raise our thought to Shambhala, the center where the will of God is known. And DK has given very beautiful description of the energy flows and the energy centers within Shambhala. And let us, with the deepest reverence and in all humility, that adjusted sense of right proportion, in all humility attempt, identified as we are, as the group soul, let us attempt to attune to the presence of Sanat Kumara, standing at the very center of Shambhala. And what we do is we sound a long, silent Om as we imagine the group imbued with his energy. This is such a great being, the one to whom the Christ prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, the one he had to face with the help of an angel from Capricorn. Now, we are approaching the full moon. We're just 24 hours away. So let us gather ourselves together as if we all come to a point. And that point, as we know from many meditations, is riding above a golden pathway which will lead to the heart of an indigo severe, where we will seek, well, first find Master D.K. and seek his assistance. So let the path, the golden path, shorten and shorten and shorten until here we are, all of us, in the midst of the indigo sphere, reminding us that our logos is blue. And we'll take a look at those energies, ray energies, constellational sign energies, now more than usually available. If we could only understand that. Everything, in a way, is available all the time, but these are unique moments. Okay, so here we are, perhaps as outposts, even a little, of Master DK's brilliant knowledge of the constellations, the signs, the rays, the creative hierarchies. All of these factors having to be more and more understood by us. So in general, we will imaginatively align with the stream of energy emanating from the two planetary rulers of the sign Capricorn. Saturn, both the exoteric and esoteric ruler, conveying, and we will recognize this, conveying first the discipline to honor and I'll make that, to honor all life's duties and karmic responsibilities, karmic requirements. And when the sensitivity to Saturn's esoteric influences emerge, conveying the resolve to live according to the laws of the soul and to find our dharma, not just our karma, to find that which we are intended to do. Do you know it? Do I know it? So, what our specific dharmic duty is in the divine plan. And then Venus, the highest of all the rulers of Capricorn, the hierarchical ruler, conveying the full illumination of the world of the soul. The world of the soul is brilliant. It shines upon the mountaintop as the precursor to the sun, which is, for us, the most brilliant of all. And this will lead to something we all search for. Not immediately, perhaps, but we search for it. The transfigured soul in incarnation. So, with the help of the Tibetan, we ponder first on the power of Saturn. Just visualize that planet with its sort of sallow color and its rings. Ponder first on the power of Saturn, the planet of opportunity, spiritual opportunity, really, rather than strictly personal opportunity, the opportunity to set unnecessary things aside and to concentrate on those things which truly elevate. We can be brought into alignment through this opportunity with karmic law if we exercise one of the very first indications that the soul is working. We exercise spiritual responsibility. And then opportunity to realize that we can fulfill responsibilities for ourselves and then for the group. And that's so important to begin thinking in terms of the group. It's so much easier to fall into thought about the little person. That has to change. And we can ponder secondarily on the power of Saturn again to align the individual and the group with their roles in the divine plan. To ensure responsible conformity to that plan. Within one's own individual sphere and within the group sphere. How you do this is very much left to you. And then to realize that as you and the group learn the true meaning of voluntary sacrifice. Now, there is also involuntary sacrifice found at the third petal, the sixth petal, and maybe to a degree the ninth petal of the egoic lotus. But sacrifice, if we could but realize it, is both the beginning and the end. And that which makes the Christ so unique, for us anyway, is his willingness to sacrifice. So, realizing the true meaning of voluntary sacrifice, both will be animated by the source of spiritual will, emanating from the atmic plane, a plane, let us note, hierarchically ruled by Saturn, who is the instrument of Lord Brahma within our solar system. Now, if you've attended Tuya's presentation this evening or 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock GMT, you noticed the emphasis upon Lord Brahma, the five, and of course the two above it. So let us open our consciousness imaginatively to any impression, any other impression or means related to the Saturn stream of energy, karmic, dharmic. These are difficult energies, but energies of great value. Without Saturn, so many who were individualized on the moon, rather the first solar system, would not have had the bridge to come to the second, our solar system. How do I need Saturn? How do our groups need Saturn? How does the dweller on the threshold, whether for our nation or an important center or for humanity as a whole, need Saturn? And then let us carry the speculation past karma, past dharma, into the field of Venus. How do we need Venus, ruler of Capricorn in the highest sense, giving to us the quality of pure spiritual love and bringing that love into union with luminous spiritual knowledge, producing wisdom, the union of heart and mind. First realized within the supernal light of the mountaintop of initiation. Through Venus we will understand the secret of the soul, and thus the secret of the triad. And the solar angelic energy will be released through the angel of the presence into an increasingly spiritualized personality. So, just being ever so sensitive, open your consciousness to the impressions related to the Venusian stream of energy. Do we need these energies? Yes, we do. And in what way, when we think of the groups with which we work, the centers we occupy, the cities we live in, the nations we live in, and eventually all of humanity, in what way do we need this flow of Venusian energy? And as we work with the earth and our place within it, we raise our consciousness to the great second ray solar logos, in whom we live and move and have our being. And for whom the seven sacred spirits stand before the throne. He is a God of love, wisdom, and pouring through us, whether we realize it or not. As a monad, we are that which has its home within the sun. So when you see the sun representing the great solar logos, realize that as a monad, you live there. Now we will be visualizing that beautiful triangular constellation, Capricorn. Remember that for disciples, the third ray is coming through Capricorn, and not through Cancer. That's the mass indication. Capricorn in which we are fully present now, radiates the light of initiation. This is the light which clears the way to the mountaintop and produces transfiguration, thus revealing the rising sun. A wonderful phrase. All the different lights are listed on page 329 and 330 of Esoteric Astrology. So focus your imagination on the constellation Capricorn, the goat, but really, more spiritually, what you are, the unicorn of God. Pause for a moment and realize you are becoming the unicorn of God. Your identity is changing, and it's moving rapidly into the fifth kingdom of nature. Now we've been pondering with Tuya as she offered the sacred pentagram. Again, let me say that rays 1, 3, and 7 are associated with Capricorn, but by careful reading of the references, you can find the fifth ray also. And we will ponder just a little bit about the very great completeness of Capricorn. And we will think in the silence about the heart in the head center of the one about whom naught may be said, the heart in the head center of this great super constellational being. Our sun is a member of a solar cosmic logos, and the cosmic logoi are members of something greater still. Greatness lies before us, and we're just beginning. So from Capricorn, a great stream of energy will go forth. We can think of it as relating to the seventh ray constellation, the dragon. We can think of it as relating to the third ray as well. And what becomes very important is that it travels to the 7 solar systems, of which ours is one. The 7 solar systems, of which ours is one. And there it will stimulate the heart center of that solar system, which is our solar logos, our sun. And there will be a reaching out through our solar logos to Saturn, to Venus, and of course to our Earth. This is a powerful time of the year. Saturn and Venus and our Earth, and into Shambhala, which is of course in relation to our planet, and through your monad, my monad, though there is only one, and all associated monads, though there is only one monad. And through the great Lord, the Christ, and through all the ashrams, through which or with which you believe yourself to be increasingly associated, and thus the stream goes through your soul and the group soul uh, of your coworkers. I want to make sure that that's done properly. And into the spiritualized personality of all associated spiritualized personalities. Now think of these energies. They are needed. Venus sets the example. Saturn holds us to our karma. Saturn reveals our dharma. Can you find a place in the world where these kinds of flows are really needed? There is a spirit of love wisdom, and with Venus so prominent in Capricorn, we find it there. Substituting love and wisdom for the raw love of power, demonstrated now, unfortunately, all over the world. So we will send forth a stream of this Venusian energy leading to sacred planet energy, leading to solar energy from the solar logos. To lead us rightly into the Aquarian age. And as we revolve upon that pedestal of light, we send forth the energy to all true students of the ageless wisdom. To all men and women of goodwill, to all true members of the new group of world servers. And as we do this, and I could offer some music here, but I'm just leaving it the way it is. Until I become more adept at this, we offer forth the great mantra, which I hope looks like you can see it. Thinking about the divine plan in encapsulation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. And from the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om. 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 Well, thank you, everyone, for being here. And as I say, I could be doing a little better with my voice, but I'll do what I can do. And nice to see those of you who are present. And my gratitude to BL for her assistance. So tomorrow, I think it's at 9:30 GMT, we do have the exact full moon. We'll fill you in on that matter. So many blessings, lots of love, and I will turn this off for the moment. Bye for now.